Welcome back to the show, everybody. Check out these headlines this morning. Ripple partners are knocking on Swift's door. You're going to get evidence of that today. Ethgate and a power grab from the SEC. More proof of that. You're also going to hear from Gary Gensler. He calls XRP a currency, and we're going to prove it to you. And Gary Gensler's brother, Robert Gensler, talks about a rising phoenix in crypto is coming. You're going to hear it for yourself. And how about a Ripple settlement in April? Somebody roll that beautiful intro.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. You can follow me on Twitter at Dig Perspectives at the top of the screen, and Digital Perspectives News on Facebook. Give us a follow both places. Had a great exclusive live stream every Sunday morning on Facebook. Give us a follow there. $1.871 trillion market cap for crypto, ladies and gentlemen, is where we are. We're up 0.34% on the market. We see Bitcoin 41,000 plus right now, Ethereum 2,900 plus. And we see XRP at 81 cents. We are up 6.69% this morning right now. And that is really resilience in its truest form with the SEC lawsuit. Let's take a look at the range of price very quickly. 79 cents on the bottom, 82 cents on the top. We'll keep an eye on it as we move forward. Remember, if we get above, I believe it was either 85 cents to 91 cent range, it's $1.20 plus for us, and then we're talking about really, looking down the barrel of some new all-time highs for XRP potentially. So here's the news for this morning right here from Gold Telegraph. China Evergrande and its units suspend trading in Hong Kong. More trouble and more trouble. We've reported on Evergrande, and I don't know how long it takes for these cascading effects to happen, but just so you understand that China's Evergrande has been referred to as the Lehman Brothers of China. So at some point, this will be felt all around the world. This here for ProCoin News. If you're not following them, I would. ProCoin News is an incredible curator for crypto news, ladies and gentlemen. It is the Drudge Report of crypto, as they like to say. Ripple partner to compete against Swift with cheaper solutions. We covered this over the weekend from Neum. Ripple partner doing all they can to really open up cross-border and make it more efficient, faster, and cheaper. As is Axis Bank, Rack Bank, Standard Chartered use RippleNet to send payments as well. You can see where all of this is going, right? And all of this is just, happens to be leading momentum into the idea of a possible settlement in the near term or a summary judgment before the year's end. We'll get to that in a second. The Arab Monetary Fund, AMF, a sub-organization of the Arab League, has named global payments network RippleNet as a possible alternative to central bank digital currencies. Just very quickly, let's look at a part of this here. Because what it really goes on to say is that, it is named Global Payments Network RippleNet as a possible alternative to central bank digital currencies. It says here down at the bottom, if we come here, the group compiled a list of alternatives to CBDCs that could provide similar utility, but with less downside risk. Among those named are the International Swift Payment System, banking application Revolut, London-based fintech company Wise, and RippleNet, Ripple Labs real-time gross settlement system. It goes on to say here that though no specifics were given, the group also notes that the CBDC alternatives have their own flaws that must be addressed before they see widespread adoption. Take a look right here. This is a clip you need to see. This is really, why does everything have to be so damn secretive with this guy, says Nerd Nation Unboxed from Wheezy. Yeah, disguised whales and the whole bit that we all know that was really participated in the initial coin offering of Ethereum. But listen to this very quick clip here about how he will not say what he really should be disclosing.
So you mentioned the deal. It's very interesting. Reports say that JP Morgan invested $20 million into Consensus as part of a $50 million convertible debt deal. Can you confirm those numbers?
I cannot confirm nor deny those numbers at this point.
Well, hopefully somebody does their job at the SEC or at a criminal division of Department of Justice there and actually says, well, you're going to do it today, because that's exactly what you should have done in the first place. This right here points to the other side of the fence. You know, this is all still a part of Ethgate, ladies and gentlemen. We're proving it to you right here. No public disclosures, no public audit on the Lubin side of the fence from Consensus or the EEA, right? And then here on the SEC side, what do we continue to see? We continue to see a power grab for jurisdictional power instead of helping to foster innovation. This, believe it or not, I'm actually agreeing with Ryan Selkis here, which is news in itself. But nevertheless, if you look at here, this is the language as it used to read here. When you would earn a profit solely through the effort of others, expect profits solely from the efforts of a promoter or third party, solely being the word here, and now missing from here. And just says digital assets is relying on the efforts of others. So really what this looks like is the ability to open and have even more capture almost anything you want to fall under Gary Gensler's purview at the SEC for regulation. I tell you, you know, this guy's stopping at nothing here. And then there's more. This is from Digital Asset Investor tagging Warren Davidson, who responds. He says, you're plugged into the crypto space. Can you explain to me why the SEC is going after Coinbase for its lending product and completely leaving Ethereum 2.0 alone? If this isn't picking winners and losers, I don't know what is. Is the United States lawless? What an incredible, credible tweet there from DAI as he points out the fact in this original tweet. Warren Davidson says, I also cannot explain why Congress has failed to even hold a hearing on my bipartisan Token Taxonomy Act. First introduced in 2018, not even a hearing on the specific topic, a bright line test to determine when is a digital asset a security. And I offer this because if they have that bright line test, then the SEC can't continue to pick winners and losers, being the bully of the regulatory schoolyard. But here is evidence right here, as I told you in the front of this video, that you're going to see Gary Gensler knows exactly what XRP is and what its use is. And shout out to Working Money Channel, the gentleman who sent it to me, and I forget his name, escapes me. No, it's not this clip. There's another clip coming. But shout out to Working Money Channel anyway, and the people that sent that, and Stephen Hubert. But this clip here is why I say this is why we should focus more on the Reeves test. As Gary Gensler has to per se, when something is a note, they know exactly what XRP is. It's a currency. The Reeves test requires starting with the presumption that it's a security first. This SEC lawsuit is the Reeves test, as far as I'm concerned. Take a listen to Gary Gensler explain exactly how XRP works and that he understands it at his tenure at MIT and taught it to students that it was in fact a bridge currency.
Crypto Bitcoin to Philippine peso. That is called a bridge crypto or bridge currency. That's in fact what Ripple is trying to do with XRP. So Ripple is a company that started as a messaging, a payment messaging service to compete with SWIFT. And that messaging service, which we'll talk about more Thursday, has been adopted by many banks. More recently, in 2018, they rolled out a prototype of using a crypto token, XRP, as a bridge currency. I would say yes, it is possible. I think there's an issue also about volatility. So if you're moving fiat dollar to crypto, Bitcoin, XRP to fiat, if you have a lot of volatility, that means it's a less it could be costly. But if it's stable value, so you can lower the cost two ways: lowering the volatility of the crypto, or lower the time. And XRP believes they have a solution that can be down to seconds, and thus even if it's volatility, that in seconds it won't move as much. And the friction will be that you have to sell dollars to buy XRP, and then sell XRP to buy peso, or you can interpose any bridge currency. One of the most significant opportunities for stable value tokens that we'll talk about in a few classes is maybe as what we can call it as a bridge currency for cross-border.
I mean, you can't get it any more clear. He knows at MIT in 2018 exactly what Ripple is and what XRP is, and that it's a bridge currency. And Ripple is obviously a company separate from that, as a messaging company that built that messaging system first. It has many banks working with it already at that time. We know it's hundreds of banks now. You know, this to me really reminds me, honestly, of the idea and the opportunity to get Ripple, if you were so inclined, at Link2. Link2.com, private investing made simple, ladies and gentlemen. Link underneath the video. I mean, not telling you what to do, but that's what I'm trying to do as much as possible. And in large part because Robert Gensler, Gary Gensler's twin brother, yes, he has a twin brother, he knows exactly what's coming. And I want to play this for you. And this is where we shout out to Stephen Hubert and Working Money Channel and the gentleman who sent it. And forgive me for forgetting your name. You know who you are, and I appreciate you. But even Gary Gensler's brother, Robert Gensler, knows what's coming. The rising phoenix is XRP, I believe, not Bitcoin. The SEC versus Ripple is the application of the Reeves test itself, I believe, in determining that. Take a listen to what Robert Gensler says here.
Also reminded, I think Bitcoin, sorry, I'm real biased about this, is a massive regulatory arbitrage. I don't want the governments, the officials anywhere in the world to know something. I want to create a system that's beyond governments. Have you
Now, just really quickly, we know Ripple decided to build within the system. A revolution comes from within, not without.
found anything, maybe in the history of humankind, there is something where officially the official sector doesn't come back with a vengeance and get its fair share. So I think blockchain can be very good as a utility to make a lot of other things. It's like, what are the killer apps that will come? And it was true with the internet. When the killer apps came, guess what? Amazon was a killer app, and Apple was a killer app. Well, Apple's different, but Facebook, etc. And oh, by the way, all of them, sorry, because you're going to say, why I would say they're worth 500 billion or a trillion. Remember, there was an installed base of value, Amazon's case, 100% of global retail, that they could disrupt. Wow, they have not even 5% yet. I don't know whether you should own Amazon stock or not. I'm not trying to say that. But wow, you know, or all of global advertising, you know, that's what's Google, you know, wow, and they're a disruptor, okay? So maybe Bitcoin becomes the utility that some app resides on top of, that is, you know, and it becomes ubiquitous enough in 10 or 15 years. And I actually think something will happen that's just will wow us all that we hadn't even considered. But it's in the second phase, not in this first phase of hype, disappointment. And I don't think we're anywhere near the disappointment. The disappointment takes years, and then all of a sudden, like the phoenix from the ashes, it rises up again. And it's once the distributed process is all out there, and there's not nodes like a Bitcoin nodes, but nodes of users. It's like,
I mean, I don't know if you could choose to use a better person or phrase than Robert Gensler using the phrase rising phoenix, when we all understand that there's really only been one token associated with that, and it is XRP. To add to all of this, Fidelity's executive says crypto markets forming setup identical to the commodities boom of the 90s and early 2000s. The top executive at Bitcoin custodial firm Fidelity Digital Assets Europe says this. It is mirroring the commodities boom in the 90s. Prior to the early 2000s, most investment portfolios didn't have an allocation to commodities. They were really corporate hedging markets. Then we saw a series of what I would call product regulatory market access and infrastructure developments that laid the foundation and enabled institutional participation. Fast forward to today, and I think that's where we are at with digital assets. The executive also highlights a 2-year period of stagnation where institutions stayed away from commodities before all of a sudden pouring hundreds of billions of dollars worth of capital into the then nascent industry. Tyrier notes, that the same thing could happen to cryptocurrencies. This is what we're talking about here, ladies and gentlemen. And to look on right here, we know one of the catalysts could be specifically for XRP and not just the markets. And we have been in a stagnation, but for more than 2 years of the crypto space. Ripple settlement may trigger XRP price skyrocket, says FX Open executive. Just very quickly here, the SEC Ripple lawsuit is currently waiting a court decision on the SEC's motion for reconsideration, in which the plaintiff now claims that the ex-SEC Hinman's 2018 speech was public guidance rather than his personal opinion. The 180-degree turn aims to persuade Judge Netburn to consider the notes and emails related to Hinman's speech to be protected by deliberative process privilege. The upcoming ruling has been said to be the biggest decision in the XRP lawsuit and is likely to take place ahead of the scheduled meetings hosted by Judge Netburn, who has seen all the privileged documents. The mediation could successfully help Ripple and the SEC to reach a settlement as soon as April. One thing I know is whether we go to a settlement or whether we go to a summary judgment, I know this. We are going to see Brad Garlinghouse and Ripple have their day. And it will be on Time Magazine. And I guarantee you, he won't be wearing a rainbows and unicorn shirt. That's going to do it for me. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe. Leave a comment below. Share with somebody you know. This is not financial advice from me or anyone else. Make sure you check out all those links underneath the video. They're great products and specials I use every day. They are trusted, vetted links. But you got to click the links to get the deals. I'll catch you on the next one.